This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are playing with Kasmina, Enigma Sage. This planeswalker out of Strixhaven, I finally crafted the third and fourth copies to try to build a deck completely devoted to using Kasmina, Enigma Sage, and this is 1 and a green-blue. Each other planeswalker you control has the loyalty abilities of Kasmina, Enigma Sage, so you know, Kasmina's nice. Spreads the abilities around. Very friendly in that way. Has a friendly owl. Has piercing blue eyes on freaking everything. This is fine. It's all fine. Kasmina's a friend of yours. +2 is to scry 1. Okay, that's not very exciting unless you're on a planeswalker that doesn't have a +2 ability. Maybe they have no plus abilities, or they have only a +1 ability. And then the -X, create a 0/0 green and fractal creature token, put X +1/+1 counters on it, and that's medium, unless you have a planeswalker with a ton of loyalty. And then -8, search your library for an instant or sorcery that shares a color with the planeswalker. Exile the card, then shuffle. You may cast the card without paying its mana cost. Okay, free spells, we do stuff with that. And of course the card we want to combine Kasmina with in a beautiful 3/4 curve is Teferi, the Master of Time. Now, here's the great thing about Teferi. You may activate the loyalty abilities of Teferi, Master of Time on any player's turn, anytime you could cast an instant. So it's like Planeswalker loyalty ability flash. And the reason that's sweet is it's a lot better if you are using the -X to create a creature at instant speed. It's a lot better if you use the -8 to go find an instant or sorcery at instant speed, like a counter spell. So those abilities are really, really sweet. But of course, the really good one that people focus in on is +2 to scry 1, because when you activate Teferi, Master of Time on every turn cycle, it's like getting a +4 activation, and then that gets you to that -10, which lets you take extra turns. And remember, even if you only get to the -8, we have some extra turns hidden in the deck already, in the form of Alrund's Epiphany. Given enough time, with protection for your planeswalkers, Kasmina and Teferi will team up to take all of the turns. Teferi will -10, then you'll also cast an Epiphany. How do you win from there? Kasmina will make we'll just kind of minus and make a fractal, or maybe Teferi will. The fractals and the birds will attack the opponent down. It's no big deal. Once you have all the turns, it doesn't really matter. The rest of the deck, it changed a little from the very first game that you're going to see, because I had kind of some fun-ofs in there, like Emergent Ultimatum. I thought the idea of using a -8 to get an Emergent Ultimatum to get a Vorinclex was pretty cool to go with these cards. There was also an Elder Gargaroth. Those things all got cut pretty quickly making the video, because you can't play jank in ranked. You get punished so hard for having bad card choices. It's just the way Mythic is. And then the Cling to Dusts got added because there's such a good combo with Teferi, and because I hate losing to rogues more than probably anything else in the world, although Mono Red is up there. And then Pelucranos, also a nice escape card that can attack the opponent down if you're having trouble with your win cons. The Wilt is an interesting inclusion. We don't have any way in the deck, like a Binding of Old Gods, to remove the opponent's threats that are not creatures, so or planeswalkers. So being able to fetch up a Wilt using Kasmina's -8 ability, just kind of a quick way to deal with something, or you might just draw it out of the deck, and it cycles if you don't have any targets. So it's pretty fine. So yeah, I hope that you guys are going to enjoy Sultai, Kasmina Teferi coming together, trying to take all of the turns, and we're going to try to do it near the top of the Mythic rank. With the season winding down, people are thirsty. They're desperate to get into the top 1200. We're already qualified, so we get to play a little bit of nonsense. And people love decks built around the new planeswalkers. I think they like to see just where these things fall in the tier list. So let's see what Kasmina's got. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Versus Wizards. If there's one way to rebel against Wizards of the Coast, it's by playing the game they make. Don't believe me? Just look at all the people who do things this way. All right, let's kill everything they play. It had to be Mono Red. Only Mono Red could adopt this philosophy. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. It's Izzet. It's Izzet. I was gonna say could be Izzet. So I'm going to try to kill everything they play, but eventually they also take all the turns. This is probably a very tough matchup. I stare at you. You stare at me. Good show, everybody. So we're going to try to interact on their turn and kind of hope they counter it, because I'd love to get Teferi down. And we're going to use the Intervention, I think. The Heartless Axe are always 2 mana. Intervention scales. I don't know. I think we want to use an Intervention. Would you like to counter it? I don't know. Opponent might play a dragon the next turn, in which case Teferi would be very dead and gone. All right. Wow. How attached to this borrower are you? Yeah, I'd probably not play Teferi next turn if they counter this, and then we'll try to fight again on their turn and just be happy that we're getting counter spells out of them in exchange for a little bit of our life total. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the manual taps are approaching. No, it's negate. What will we do? Whatever shall we do? All right, so dragon, right? So we don't want that. We might need black for 2 Heartless Axe if they play a second borrower or something. So let's play this on black, and the passage will be blue, and we'll play Teferi in the future. Them defending the borrower is very interesting. It might mean they don't have other threats, or just that they see this is how the game must be. Oh, let's go for this again. They countered the last one, didn't they? It's more mana efficient to use up everything. So how long do you think it'll take them this time? Eh? Eh? How many counter spells do you want to spend in defense of your beautiful brazen borrower? There we go. That's what I thought. Not that many. Hit that land drop, draw those cards. So again, do I have to chill? I feel like I need to play Teferi at a time when Teferi isn't going to get wrecked, but I guess it can minus and hit the dragon unless they stomp it, which is a big problem, right? If they stomp it, that doesn't work. Let's just say go. Uh-oh. They figured out that they should tap their 2 red mana. All right, so how much more obvious could a counter spell be? This might be a mistake. We'll see what happens. Now they might be able to play land, play dragon, and counter. Expressive Iteration just abuses people who play this slow game like I do. That it's like the main reason that the deck can compete with other Sultai decks. Obviously my deck isn't the typical Sultai, but it's kind of the same principle. Shuffler having a fine moment here. Totally fine moment. At this point, if we tap out for anything, it's probably a mistake. We need to hope the opponent gets impatient at some point. Yep. Look how sensitive they are about their red and blue taps. Keep holding. Keep holding. The counter spells are a problem. We need to wait till we have like some mystical disputes or something like that. We need to pick fights we can win. Okay, negate's not bad. I don't know. I feel like if we just do nothing long enough, we'll be fine. Opponent did shuffle back in the cards they put on the bottom with the iteration. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. We're not really sure. I'd also love like a Kasmina, something cheap I can play to just kind of force them to act. Yeah, they don't want to act here at all. But we've got a lot more reactive stuff than they know about. I wonder if they run Maze Mind Tome. I guess since I'm not sure, I'll cycle. Kind of a hint that we run a pretty weird deck ourselves. Let's make black. Blue, blue, black, black. I guess this can go be a black if we need it to. The question will be, who blinks first? Who wins the counter war? And then, does the other one get to take all the turns when it's over? I think they will. All day. I got all day. Good job. You played a borrower. We're waiting until they get into combat every single time because of Goldspan Dragon. You don't want to start a fight before then. You're gonna have to try harder at some point. Are using up our Heartless Axe. Eventually they'll find Faceless Haven, and we might wish we had some again. Yep, foretell it all, baby. Foretell it all. Why am I not cracking passage? It holds priority. And I don't mind drawing lands in a staring match. Doesn't bother me one little bit. Wait a turn cycle before caring. Okay, another Soul Shatter, but we're probably using Heartless Act, just because Soul Shatters affect the dragons. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can still fight with Negate, Mystical Dispute, and Soul Shatter if we play a Teferi. It'll probably get countered, though. But I guess getting one more counter out of them is fine. Oh my god, just endless giants here. Okay, it's a lot of land. It is a lot of land. If we play this now, it gets countered. I still need them to actually try to win the game or something. They are up on cards by a little bit. All right, they didn't play another threat. That's nice. So let's thin the deck now and work on that. There's Kasmina. Let's start this party. Everyone's like, huh? It's not what I expected. All right, first counter spell. Yeah, they are afraid. And much like they let their creatures die, we're letting our cards get countered. Just let them go. They're not worth it. Alright, so that means they feel like they need a threat. So do we fight it? Wouldn't be a great fight, but I don't have a great recourse either. So let's just see what happens if we just negate this. If we lose the counter war, we're in big trouble. But I don't... Yeah, they're just going to let it go and hold on to their counters. Yeah, the Foretell Patrol continues. All right. Teferi time. I guess it's only good here, isn't it? It's all breaking down. Resolves. Okay, so do we go for an Epiphany? Seems bad.
Who's ready for a good time? Time to improvise.
Seems too risky to me. But I don't have a way to stop their Epiphanies. Let's have a look. Saw it coming, saw it coming. Negate. 2 more Foretold cards. They popped 1. Could definitely be 2 Epiphanies. Probably a few dragons. If it is another Saw It coming, and then they play a dragon, we can minus on it. Okay, let's try to fight the dragon, or see what they do about the Teferi. Because if they counter the Soul Shatter, attack the Teferi, we can either phase out the dragon or plus and still keep our Teferi. So if they fight this, they probably don't have enough. They would need an untapped land to still play an Epiphany. Okay, dragon dies. We're down to one card, though. All right, here comes the Epiphany. Need another Soul Shatter or a counter. We don't get it. Yeah, it's about to spiral. But we do at least get to keep activating Teferi. Yeah, let's hold the intervention till the last possible moment. It might influence whether or not the opponent goes face, something like that. Okay, they don't play a dragon. So we let this go.
I don't have time.
Okay, there's the other Epiphany. Let's plus.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Which one do we keep? Right now they're attacking Teferi for lethal with 4 birds. But Teferi can plus and get out of it. If we play Kasmina and then some Epiphanies, we might just win the game, so let's try. But we need them to have some bad cards for a change. Like, these are probably spells, so I don't like the chances of this working out very much, but we're gonna try. Okay. Had a feeling that they had Frostbite somewhere. And now they get to go face. They've spent 3 Epiphanies. Some decks only play 3. Alright, let's try this first. Now they're fighting. Okay. So I think we take the 4 here. We can cycle this now. We might draw something good. Maybe I should have done that in response in case it's a counter, Pelucranos. Now would be a good time to start whiffing. As you've burned through your library. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11. 11. Let's try this first. Hello? Come on. Come on. Manual taps for that? Oh, they're just messing with me. Yeah, they think they're smart. Okay. Kasmina pluses? I think that's better than Pelucranos. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're going for it. They might. It might also get Mystical disputed. Nope. Okay, Scry. We're gonna take all the turns now, guys. I can feel it. I can feel it. We just need to find another Epiphany. Wow, that's a lot of land. Okay. Let's do it again. Okay. It's a lot of land, guys. Epiphany. What do you think that is? Essence Scatter? I guess if they Essence Scatter Pelucranos, we can get it back. I guess we hold this for Teferi. The great renowned killer of birds, Pelucranos. 4 straight lands in the stretch here. 4 straight lands. Oof. 1, 2, 3. Play 1 more land and we can fight 4 times. No, we can't. Yeah, we need a green though. We can fight 3 times. A little awkward there. Do I make the fractal? They're at 18. We have to deal with these birds. But we also want to hold it up for a dragon. Let's make the birds go through our birds if they want to get to our Planeswalker. Let's plus this 1 more time, because if we get to untap with it, we get an ultimatum. Too late for the U. Oh, this stretch of cards has been really bad. Like terrible bad. We definitely found the bad side of the library. With 23 cards left. There's still an Ultimatum in there. There's still a Vorinclex. There's still an Elder Gargaroth. There's several Teferis. All right, they're gonna bounce this. And they were hoping for a mistake. They're gonna hold this back. Do they have a sweeper? They're gonna scoop. Pelucranos, too strong. Oh, that game was pins and needles. What a fight. All right, we'll keep this hand. It's a nice curve. If I seem salty, it's because I just content scooped to rogues. Which content scoop, by the way, is when you know you're making a game, like you know you're making content that nobody wants to watch. And that is rogues taking an hour to try to figure out how to play their cards. So, sadness. Sadness, salt, but now we take it out on our next opponent, who's on the play with Usher of the Fallen and Luminarch Aspirant. So they're off to the races, flexing their awesomeness. How do we play this part? We're definitely going to kill something. What do we kill? The Aspirant doesn't prop the Winota. I guess we say go. I mean, right now we can only kill the Aspirant anyway. So, but we don't want to let them get into combat. But I'm wondering how they might play differently. I don't know. Let's just do it now. You never know when they're going to bust out a fight as one and destroy you. The highest mana value. Okay. Well, Kasmina's not looking so good. Teferi, we don't have double blue. We're probably going to play this hold up mana at either Mystical Dispute or Soul Shatter. Oh god, their hand is perfect. Alright. Alright, nice curve. Probably means we lose if we don't top deck an Extinction Event in the next 2 turns. But who knows, they might take the wrong thing. They'll take Soul Shatter. If they don't take Soul Shatter, they're an idiot. Okay. Interesting. Idiot confirmed. Cool. We got a chance. So we say go because we need to Soul Shatter this turn. Alright, they're going to play a Giant. That's fine. They're going to attack. Now we have to play Teferi, who can phase out Winota at the cost of his life. And we're just trying to buy time. Just trying to draw Extinction Event off the top. Nothing else really matters. Should I have played this in response to the Giant so I took less damage? Probably. The Giant is the higher power, though. Let's go, buddy. That is a terrible draw. Okay. Still need to top that Extinction Event. Some things don't change. We can see Kasmina here. We could have played on turn 3 and just didn't because it did actual nothing in this game, which is really sad. Probably the reason the card isn't actually good, but here I am, doing my best to play cards. Interesting. I'm at 9. Okay. Opponent has prioritized Teferi killing. Bad draw. Bad draw. I guess we have to play Kasmina, make a creature, and hope it blocks Usher, and that's our only chance. And finger on the button. Shuffler's fine. Still can top an Extinction Event. Wow, there's an attack all button, bro. Come on now. Come on now, gamers. Elder Gargaroth. Block here. Gain 3. Take 6. Death. Pity. But we can hope that they mess up. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course. Go second, die. Alright, so, Rogues has double crab on the play. Winota has this. 5 straight games on the draw. It's gonna be one of those days. They don't want your boy in the top 1200 anymore. They're conspiring. On the bright side, we have Extinction Event this time. It's the first time we've drawn it today. See if the opponent has the perfect curve like last time, including the Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa card that gets under our Mystical Dispute because they went first. Elite Spellbinder, that's the card. Say its name. Last time they had turn 2 Luminarch. They don't this time. Why didn't they boast? Do they not know how card works? It's possible. It is possible. Easy. All right. Well, let's see what you take. Magic is so easy. One of the biggest tilts in Magic is when your opponents have interesting decisions that they get to make all day, and you sit there doing nothing. And if you can't handle that, Magic's a tough game, so I'm having one of those days. I am having one of those days for sure. I've only had one game where I felt like I was playing. The rest, I've just been getting rolled. My hand's been torn apart by more elite spellbinders than I can count, so we're trying to fight through it. But if there's an edge on me, it's because it's one of those days, and don't pretend like you're above it, please. We know everybody has those days. But the competitive fire will burn deep within as we try to rise above our predicaments. Our bad luck, our opponent's amazing luck. They have to take the event, right? They have to. They might not, though, so I'm going to leave this Erebos' intervention for them to stare at. We're actually doing okay in this game. Yeah, they had to take the event. They don't know about this dispute. They know about the Teferis. If I pass the turn, there's no way... Like, they're going to have the read. But if they only attack me for 3, I kind of buy a turn. We got to do it. We've got to play it.
If nothing else, don't worry. I'll think of something.
Gotta find land. Here's the Blade Historian, of course. Let's see who they attack. Or we could phase this out and they don't attack anybody. Or we use the Teferi to try to keep digging. Let's phase. Hashtag phase clan. Alright. Essence Scatter, not good. The counters are just rolling in at the wrong times. It's making my life really hard. We need the land because we have to get to the removal spells. It also turns on the Mystical Dispute. We're at 20. We're facing 10 points of power. Ugh. All right. We got to hold up this Mystical Dispute for 5. It's open information. The opponent will play around it. But it hopefully at least restricts them from doing something, and I hope that they try to kill the Teferi. I mean, I get to use my mana. I get to play one of my spells, so we do it. Okay. Kind of weird choices from our opponent. Right, discarding Epiphany is not good.
Had an imperfection.
They're going face. Down to 10. Awesome. Cling to dust. All right, feed the beast. Soul Shatter, not bad. But no land. All right, so Shatter hits the Blade Historian because it has the highest mana value, which takes a lot of the punch out of them. But we'll see if they have another follow-up, like another Winota or another Blade Historian. They have a dog. That doesn't do it, and that's good. That's good because of Extinction Event. It does not save the Blade Historian from the Soul Shatter. So will we find an untapped land? We're a 26-land deck, and if you look at the way that we've drawn land this game, wow, they are walking right into the event. They're walking right into the event as we speak. Why did they play these pre-combat? They're not expecting the Soul Shatter, that's for sure. Yeah, opponents kind of choked here against the Teferi. And that's one of the great things about playing this card. People don't know how to play against it. They really don't. I need another black on the board, but this will do for now. Nice. We could Allrun's Epiphany there. Maybe I was supposed to. Yeah, I was supposed to. For some reason, I thought I would lose the tokens, but they're even, not odd. That's what was going through my head. All right, doggo. What else you got? Another backup Blade Historian. Okay, that has to wait. It does have Indestructible, though. There's the other black source, but I'd rather have the Heartless Act. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Where's the goods? There's another Extinction Event. Seems pretty nice. Now we'll Epiphany. Getting our revenge. Revenge. Back up to Teferi? Nope. Removal, removal. But we do need more black. So there's some interesting plays we can make. If the opponent attacks with the dog, we can phase out the Historian. No, now that doesn't work, does it? But wait. Okay, so we just survived this turn. Okay, let's see what they do. But I think what we're going to do is Heartless Act the Historian, and they'll sacrifice the Savior to protect it, and then we'll Extinction Event and get them both. Mm-hmm. Okay. So many Teferis, but we're closing in on the 2 turns ultimate.
Time to improvise.
Now we got our backup black source. Get rid of those. Okay. Will they be the type to let me have the extra turns?
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
Let's keep the Teferi around. We've had to discard a lot of them. Where are we at? 28 cards. All right. Let's hold this. Bone Crusher Giant? Maybe. Could be a punish. Let's find out. There's an Allruns Epiphany. We're at 7. We could be gaining life, but let's get cards instead. We're going to take a lot of turns. We need a Kasmina. We really need a Kasmina. Yeah, if we ultimate this here and then they Bone Crush it, there's no reason to let that happen. Let's do a priority check. No priority. We're good.
I've got all the time in the multiverse.
I also have all the time in the multiverse. There's a Kasmina. There you are. All right.
Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Because I am.
Scry 2? Or Scry 1, I mean, but we get a +2 effect. How many turns we got here? The answer is a lot. Opponent's making us do it. I appreciate that. We're in a revenge match. Don't really want those. All right. Start the countdown. Soul Chateau. All right. Scries.
My brainstorms bring actual thunder and lightning.
And scries. Eventually we make fractals. But yeah, so like we draw this and use this to be a fractal. Okay. I think we only have one Epiphany left, so we gotta find it. We still have one more turn. But we don't play this yet, because we gotta make a fractal next turn. Let's check. Bottom still has those. This still has these. We could exile some of the opponent's graveyard just to do it. Don't think we need to. There's Pelucranos, one of the heavies of the deck. Don't have a surefire way to draw an extra card except for Teferi itself. But I think we win anyway. We took enough turns, you know, we got far enough ahead. So I don't think we have to worry too much.
It all built up to this.
It all built up to this, says Teferi. You're right.
Let's put fractal theory into practice.
There's the Epiphany. One card away from never letting the opponent have another turn, but it's okay. What are they going to do? Rimrock Knight. Can't block. You love to see it. And the land. All right, well, they say good game.
Guildmage, Planeswalker.
Sorry, but destroying aggro is kind of my bag, so I'm enjoying it just fine, but they want me to go off. All right, so we'll take 2 turns after this one. Cast this. Flex hard. Turn them sideways. All right, deck did the thing. And we got off of the pain train and trying to right the ship. Yorion. Ugh. Not a great Yorion hand, but what will be? At least we have a Teferi. If we draw a Kasmina, it's a good hand. Like that's what a good hand would be against Yorion. Where we can just go Planeswalker into Planeswalker and draw some counter spells. They whiff on binding. Like that's a good hand against them. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I don't like my hand. I think you're going to destroy me. We're going to try to stay positive. We just think good thoughts. Everything will be okay. All right, Teferi, you have a lot of work to do. It's a very hard matchup. We only have 3 counter spells. You really need a Teferi to stick, and if they have binding, it's just not going to. Now, the opponent did not buy Yorion, so they either have a counter spell, or they have, like, Omen that they plan to play. It is a tell that they might not have a binding, or they might just be a counter spell superstar. All right, the foretold card was Saw It Coming, which means I've seen Saw It Coming in some ultimatum lists, but it might mean they're playing control. So basically, we know nothing. We know that these removal spells are bad, and we need a Teferi to stick and try to fix it. Okay, Wolf Willow Haven is a ramp card. No way around that. Maybe I should have played this on blue to draw Mystical Dispute.
I do love a good puzzle.
Erebos' Intervention. The reason I don't run this card in many decks is because it's so dead in a matchup like this. Okay, they've got all the ramp. And they've got a Gargaroth. All right, we can kill a Gargaroth. That is one of the better cards we could see.
Improvise.
That is a really good card to see.
I'll think of something.
I mean, this works on a Curabest the Sea God token. Is that a good enough reason to keep it? I don't think so. Do we need another green? The only thing I really need a lot of green for is Pelucranos. I'll make more blue. Let's do this now before they can counter it. Here comes the ultimatum. Are you ready? Are you ready? Eyes Yorion. Doesn't play Yorion. Playing around Mystical Dispute, perhaps? Alright. Exile the Saw It Coming to draw a card, and then loot with Teferi. Okay, having a running Teferi gives me a lot more hope, because we get to turn all of those dead removal spells into more cards, and then Cling, it feeds the Cling, so we get to draw more and more and more cards. There's Kasmina. Let's go. They might have a counterspell for it. Okay, they don't.
Study hard, and one day you may find
Let's get our Scry on. We just need this negate to work out.
You must be accompanied by a parent or guardian to ride the lightning.
What? Something about riding the lightning? The heck, Teferi, that's messed up. There's nothing okay about that. Wilt is a Stone Rain type effect. I don't have green mana open though, so I can't play it anyway. Let's just put that away and keep trying to work on the counter spells. Let's get another land onto the battlefield. I think I'm gonna have to use this negate one way or the other. The opponent's forced to move, or we're going to take a lot of turns. Actually, we can cast Elrond's Epiphany. They go for the Eliminate. Oof. But this can fetch a counterspell, right? Let's see. Search your library for an instant or sorcery, exile it, then shuffle. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Okay. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they hit their land drop. They can't pay for a Mystical Dispute for their Emergent Ultimatum, which we can fetch up for using Teferi Master of Time using Kasmina's ability. They play Yorion. Okay. I have a bad feeling about this. But maybe they're out of tricks. They did scry. It was kind of desperate. We'll go ahead and keep that for the Yori, and we want to hold the Soul Shatter for a Planeswalker. Let's scry. Yes. We could draw into that discard and then cast it, and then have a higher loyalty in the future, but let's just take the extra turns. 2 extra turns after this one.
I've got all the time in the multiverse.
All right. With 2 turns and with all this going on, we should be okay. And there's another turn. Scry, 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 baby. I mean, I think we just try to take all the turns and win.
The laws of reality could use some revision.
Yay for Planeswalker activating. It's so much fun. Are you guys having fun? I'm having fun. As we get for another 2 turns. We're looking for another 2 turns here. Clinger eliminate. 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw more cards. Think we're doing it. Seems like we're doing it. Fable Passage. Yeah, we've got a lot scried to the bottom. We don't want to use that. All right, so I don't have another turn after this one. Alrighty then. Then we have to do this. Click an option below. Hello? There it is. Give me a freaking heart attack, game. Thank you for that. And so that's enough damage to end it. And God, I don't know where that epiphany went. That was bizarre. So we kind of have the curve. We're up against Umori, so they're going to be 100% creatures. So this works. We have to draw the right lands. It's going to be hard. Gonna be hard, but I believe in us. We're on the draw. If I draw a few good lands, Extinction Event, Kasmina, Essence Scatter, we should be able to play Magic. Our opponent did take a few mulls. If they're an all-creature deck, so they need a good curve of creatures, or else their deck literally does nothing. Right off the top, like a champ. Right off the top of the library, baby. Magda is here. That's a problem. That is a problem. Sneaks out there, but I guess on the bright side, Magda might play, they might just spam a bunch of even casting costs and then we get to Extinction Event. But this looks like my dwarfy Winota list so far. What are you gonna do with that mana? Yeah, let's counter. They really want to play Winota, get Blade Historian, so we need an Extinction Event. I'm just going to make the creature because there is a chance that they Winota here, and it also might discourage the Magda. They also might Skyclave Apparition the Kasmina. Yep, here comes the Winota. Get a Blade Historian. Come on, attack for Blade Historian. Let's go. One time. Not an Elite Spellbinder, a Blade Historian. That works, that's fine. Okay. Well, we could just block and kill this. May as well. It might be better to block the Winota if we're going to cast Extinction Event anyway. If we block this, though, then all they have is Winota. If we draw a single target removal, we don't have to event. But I think because it's 4 mana, we really want to event. Bang, bang. Dig, dig. Dig, dig. Don't need that. Buys Umori. Even has the treasures to cast Umori. What a champion. Let's get going, Teferi. Not gonna be any spells over there.
Who's ready for a
Yeah, let's try to +2. Let's try to get to turns territory here. We're at 16, so I think our Kling should draw cards as opposed to gain life. And it's gonna be all creatures on their side, so we'll have to target our own graveyard. Creature, Now, I really want to see if I can get them to... Oh no. I was going to say get them to run into a Teferi minus using Kasmina's ability to make a fractal. But now they're just going to scoop. Now they're just going to scoop to the extinction event. Maybe. They don't have to. I think the chances are pretty good. Woo! Keep it going. Keep the party going. Bottoming cards is just what I do here. It's just my role to play in this game is to bottom every single Magic card that can be bottomed. Oh yeah, we are doing it. Opponent finds Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. Yeah, we'll recover. We'll be okay.
You must be accompanied by a parent or guardian to ride the lightnings.
Dig, 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 dig. All right, so we could send off this Kasmina to get an Alrund's Epiphany. I don't think we have to do any of that. Let's just keep going.
What's not to love?
Bingo.
Handsome and totally.
Guess I should have done this one first because we could have drawn into and cast it, which would have been pretty hype. Now we have a Kasmina that can go fetch an Alrund's Epiphany, and we've got an Erebos' Intervention. Don't crack the passage, though. We don't want to shuffle. All right. They did not have what it takes to see me take all the turns. Today's recording has been a roller coaster. We started out with a really epic game against Prismari Dragons. We had a pretty nasty losing streak where I just got rolled for like 3 or 4 games on the draw and it felt like I could do nothing. We cut a bunch of the kind of gimmicky fun stuff out of the deck and replaced it with just solid Sultai control interactive stuff. And now we're on a little bit of a winning streak. If we win this one, we get probably not back to where we started the day, but close. I'm going to try this hand. I'm not sure about it, to be honest. Like, it really depends. If it weren't on the play, it would be a mulligan for sure. Mono red? Mono red, huh? Is there a chance we would get to use this negate? I don't think so. Let's just foretell this. I don't think there's any chance that we get to use this negate against a typical mono red curve. Oh! I should have known. Rick Snow. The red-blue. All right, so last time we did this matchup, the key was doing nothing for as long as possible. Let's settle in. Let's settle in. Do we negate for a giant? I don't want to have to use a Soul Shatter on it, which I probably will. Let's just negate it. We got to keep the pressure off. One of the risks is that they run us over too quickly. If they like get traction and attack us a few times. Okay. All right. It's all right. They can't dragon us next turn unless we're talking about Galazeth. Get blue. This Erebos' Intervention is a good draw. We really want to save the Shatter for the dragon. But we're already down to like, man, I guess this is what going first is like. Look how few cards we have compared to them. Ooh, tome? No. Oh, they can't play it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Is that giant number 3? It is. If they mystical dispute this, that's one less mystical dispute in our life. Okay. Means we get our epiphany. Erebos' intervention. Do we hold it up for a dragon? They played tap land, which means they didn't have an untapped land to play when they played their tome, so they might miss their next land drop. Okay, untapped land. They either drew that or they totally wamboozled me on the tome. Okay. Well, they don't have saw it coming, so they need a negate. Teferi. We could go for the Teferi, and then try to phase the dragon, but I think if we're not trying to kill this dragon, it's a mistake. Okay, one dragon dies. Let's hold back a bird to intercept the next dragon. You wouldn't want to wake the dragon, would you? We're gonna cycle this, but they don't need to know that. That Soul Shatter might rock them. Okay, Galazeth is annoying. Now they have a ton of mana to play whatever they want. But they are running low on cards, so we can hope they're not that great of cards. All right, Teferi, do you get to come out and play? Yes. Start the ticking.
Yet it chews you. I do love a good puzzle.
It's kind of a free cycle here. God, no. No! All right. All runs epiphany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got to do this. If we want to play around the epiphany, we have to phase this before it makes treasure. All right. Extinction Event doesn't really do it. It doesn't handle both. They have the Frostbite. I think we take the 3 and try to absorb more damage later. I think we're gonna lose. We could draw a bunch of epiphanies. That would be nice. Green, green, black, black. Let's get another black. Combo? Combo? I mean, I don't know if it's good enough. It's gonna try.
After 1,000 years, I'm getting the hang of this.
No! No! Oh! Okay. That's brutal. We've got 2 blockers though, and they don't have an epiphany right now. So that's something. That's something. Okay, we need this. I think we can let Galazeth hit this block with 1 bird. We need to try to at least hold off this Brazen Borrower.
You have potential.
And we are back for the post-game wrap, and I think I can say definitively from my experience today, Kasmina should not be played in any kind of a competitive environment. The card just has no impact on the board, and the +2 is not, it's just not good enough on its own. There are so many times where I could have played my 3-mana Planeswalker on turn 3 and just didn't want to, because if I did, I'd be so far behind, nothing good would happen. So save your wild cards on Kasmina, but I will say the deck is fun. If you don't mind getting a little off meta and doing kind of some fun magic, this is a pretty fun deck to play. The Kasmina Teferi All Runs Epiphany package, the take all the turns endgame, is a bit of an inevitability. If the opponent does give you time, you will find a way to do it. The things that could be tweaked, I don't know if I'm supposed to run Erebos' Intervention, Extinction Events. Like, the numbers on all of these are a bit awkward. I do know you don't want to play Shadow's Verdict. It exiles Kasmina, the Enigma Sage. How would I know that? Because I'm smart. I read my cards, obviously. I also don't know about a lot of the like flexi spots, like whether or not you need 2 forests or just 1 because you're only running 6 green cards. Whether or not the wilt really belongs, but something you can tutor up with Kasmina, which can help a lot sometimes. If you absolutely have to solve something like that, so there's not a huge cost to having it. Cling to Dust is definitely nice with Teferi as a card draw engine that also hoses rogues a bit. So I don't think that there's a lot you can do to tweak the deck other than to play a traditional Sultai Control or Emergent Ultimatum deck to have a stronger deck. I just think that Kasmina is clearly kind of a nonsensy fun card, and we want to combine it with Teferi Master of Time in Standard while we can before the Teferi Master of Time rotates in the fall. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.